deal. Back at you again with another Friday night at the Fever. Yeah, man. I see I'm gonna have to. This little series right here looks like it's gonna be extended a little bit further than I thought, man. This a bad motherfucker right here. That's why I gave y'all a little minute to see if you can peep some of the stuff in it within his last little, well, less than a year, but I think I did with the first one like in August or some shit. So yeah, but it's some, yeah, I had to go back and watch it again and some more shit popped up. So we'll make it a thing. And like I say, man, we're gonna give a big shout out to Donna Summers, man. I'm gonna do something separate because the movie itself is involved. There's a lot of shit, so, but I'm gonna have to do something, a special dedication to her after I finish the series or whatever, because they got down on her. She died of lung cancer, but she never smoked or nothing. Then they say they blamed it on the towers, because she was when the towers fell, she was staying in New York or whatever. So they said that she inhaled some type of debris and shit from the towers. But I'm like, shit. 11 years later, what was it? 9/11, what, 2001? She died 2012? Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, so we're gonna get back to it, man. So now, you notice in the beginning, like I said, you're gonna see a lot of that red and white theme. Even the girls, what's them damn girls? I think I wrote it down. The two white girls. I think it's Jenny. I'm supposed to write this shit down. I don't never had a while to remember this shit. I think it's Jenny, and I wrote this shit down, but I know I did. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The two young. Okay, let me just over here. I wrote the names down. I don't want to stop not knowing. Okay, yeah. Mary and I think it's Mary and Franny. Yeah, Mary and Franny. Now, take it back to the Ishtar thing. When they walking down the street, one of them say, "But I feel like a streetwalker," or some shit like that. Nah, and then she said, "Cause she's like, these shoes make me feel like a." She said she felt like a streetwalker. And then she said, "No wonder my sister's feet are all jacked up or whatever," basically implying that her sister is a prostitute. That's more Ishtar thing or whatever. And then I'm not promoting or telling, advising people, girls, to go out and be streetwalkers or whatever, because that's, a lot comes with that life, man. I'm just breaking it down. It's not for everybody. Put it like just like everything else. But I'm just being honest and telling the whole story. It is, I can, based on my research, like I said, you got deities that are that you can invoke just for the protection of women of the night. There's hot stuff in here. This goddamn hot. It's hot damn in there. Hope it don't fuck my teeth up. I'm taking it straight back though, trying to avoid that shit. That kind of sweet, but so but yeah. Now you notice you gonna notice but they go to the shoes. One of the girls gonna have a red pair of shoes that represents the light. It's the beginning of the movie. So what that's representing is or what that symbolizes think I'm gonna one day sit down and draw every aspect of this shit out. Well, I might say that for my book. But basically, they represent, this will be the root chakra or whatever, right? When this first goes up right here, when they show that her feet with the red and white, basically what they're referring to is this is girl. I think Franny or Mary, one or two. This will be her, and then the red. When they're gonna show you the red shoe, that's gonna represent that spirit right there, because that's the beginning of the process, beginning of the movie, or beginning of the process of creation, beginning of the movie. That's why you see a lot of the red and white. She got on pink. When you take red, mix it with white, and lighten it up, it becomes pink or whatever. So that can represent the intermingling of the gold or white light right here. The white light intermingling. You're gonna see a lot of gold and yellow too in the beginning. So that would be the white light intermingling with that root chakra right there. But yeah, but we just keep it right there. So and since we in the shit, might well just go ahead and say it. That in there, you know, disco kind of got like a not as much as a house music, but disco kind of has like a connection with the gay community and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So they start talking about the back door, and then they come to like, well, they gotta have a back door. So they come through the back door. They gotta come through the window with a damn back window. When they come through the back window, they fall in the restroom. They come to the restroom with a gay dude there with all the pink on. They go pink again. The pink Don Flamingo. Back door, you know. Yeah, they got down on it. But whatever. You gonna hear somebody order a banana daiquiri, and you gonna see a banana on Floyd's shirt. The banana is, when you split a banana open, it splits 4 ways. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would have the banana right here. So it'd be 1, 2, then 3, and then 4 coming to the back or whatever. The banana peel, the monkey, the gorilla, going up the elevator, all that. See a lot of orange. You're gonna see one. You're gonna see one scene when Carl at the bar. You're gonna see a lot of the martini glasses. I'll tell you, the martini glass represents the Y. So this will be the stem. This will be the Y, and the martini glass will be like the pineal gland shit right here. But that's why they show you the martini glass, because it represents the pineal gland, or the tuning fork or whatnot, or the 2 ends of the spine that come up into the head when the pineal gland sit in the base or whatever. You're gonna see Donna when she tell him, you ain't heard the last of me, remember my name, S-I-M-S. She said, S-I-M-S, 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 I-M-S, 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 I am the. What God said, what God told Moses when he asked his name, he said, I am that I am. And even her name, Nicole Nee, the Nee. Excuse me, the Nee. The coal being black, the coal. Or you could take the L, turn it to R, the core, Nicole, Nicor. You know, and she was in the prostitute, but her music kind of, if I'm not mistaken, Donna Summer's music was like that song, I think, Bad Girl, kind of, I think that resonated like with the with the ladies of the night or whatnot. If I'm not mistaken, I wasn't around them days. But that, and then you have even one of her album covers, you will see her on one side of, you're gonna see a lamp. You will see her on one side and the police officer on the other side. She's representing the other. She's representing the, basically that album cover is basically saying she's not her though. I don't. She with her music resonated with a lot of the ladies of the night, but she's showing, it's like she's showing you that she's on the opposite. So she's playing the criminal element, right? Fucking cops on the other side. She on this side representing the bad girls or whatever. At least that's how I perceive it. Now this is how you know. Now we're gonna take this to a more metaphor, esoteric level. Show you how the spirit is. If you think I'm just randomly doing this shit, I'm gonna show you. Now, on one hand, you got the orange juice with Dave them at the table. You got the orange juice with the red straw. That's the root chakra. The next chakra after that is the orange chakra. So that's what the red and the orange is referring to. And then you're gonna have when they ask for how much the drinks cost, you're gonna say $2.50. So Dave's like, damn, $2.50 a pop, $2.50. Now they saying this is the 250th birthday. I didn't do all this shit on purpose. I just now finding out this is 200. I didn't know what the fuck. I'm thinking. When I think of America, all I think is 400 years slavery and all that shit. They said this is 250 years, some shit. And just so happened, I get to this part on the day before 4th of July. You say $2.50 a pop. $2.50 plus $2.50 is $5. That's the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the middle 5. 2 times 5 is 10, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you count the whole thing, which would be 10. Like I say, 250 plus 250 is 5. Then you got now Gus. Let's go back to Gus. Look at his name, Gus McCullough. Now I don't know if I did this shit, but I'll recap it. Gus or Goose. First of all, McCullough. That's why he keep running around talking about, you can bet your sweet ass. You can bet your sweet ass on it. I'm saying bet your sweet ass. He's talking about this. He's in that, first and foremost, he's the asshole. You know, he's the asshole of the whole goddamn movie. And his name is McCullough. So, he's basically what he's representing is he would be the set on the ass. Then he was short. He was short or had he was short, right? So he had a small man complex. He represented the dwarfs or the little people, which would represent, which you can't see it anyway, but he would represent the underworld, those little specks of light I was telling y'all about on each one of these right here. The little dwarf, Ptah, the Twa man. So the height refers to that. Him being goo, the goo that. So this is the top right in the beginning. This is how the top of things look. Until the melanin start oozing and going downhill. So it's the goo, meaning the melanin of the black, and then you got the S, Gus, goo S, the goo serpent. Oh shit, let me put this charge in. The goo serpent, the black serpent, goo. Just like your boy Magnificent Seven, Bo Goo, the Bo and the goo. Or the word boogie. Don't blame it on the boogie. So, this is a badass movie, man. I'm like, God damn, this Shit, he was off the chain. So anyway, that's why I kept saying, "Bet your sweet ass, your sweet sweet ass." It's just like even when you go back to I'll get to that in a minute. But when you go back and watch Candyman, we say sweets of the sweet, or even when you go watch Juice, when they go into that club, it looks like that club when what's my boy name? When Omar Epps go get that Q go get that when he go get that heater, he going to that club, and you know this dark, real dimly lit, just like this here, the sweets or the sweat, because when all this is coming down here, the moisture that's inside the melanin, the moisture that's retained in the melanin that makes its way down here, it sweats off of the while the moisture in the melanin up here is rising, down here is sweating off of the melanin. That's why I keep saying sweet sweat, bet your sweet ass on it and all that old shit. So plus this would be like the chocolate or whatnot, sweet or whatever. Which is why, you know, the whole thing with Valentine's Day, because, you know, Valentine's Day will be in the lower region with the hard chocolate bread, but that's why the sweets are sacred to the whole, you know, that's why I say sweetheart or whatnot. On Valentine's Day, the sweethearts, you giving if I give sweets on chocolate and shit on Valentine's Day, because Valentine's exists within the underworld of it all, or it's when the sun is in the underworld or below the earth. Where the melanin thick and dense at. Then you got Gus and Shirley, GAS, gas. This is where gas, first and foremost, all this goes up. You got water evaporating, whatever. Then when all this goes up and it comes back down and hits this and it pushes it up, gas comes from up out of here. But gas, or cooler, but gas, yeah, this is gas. Now he represents an egotistical individual as well. When you see him and Shirley walking out the club, you're gonna see a red car. I mean, you're gonna see a red car roll by, representing the root chakra, telling you that he's in the root chakra. He represents the lower nature or whatnot, the animal, the ass. And then when they arguing, you're gonna see a yellow car. The yellow car gonna pass by. He gonna be standing like this, and the way the camera set up, when the yellow car pass by, the top of that car is gonna line right up with his solar plex chakra, showing you that he's egotistical. He's an egomaniac. That's why he's going crazy throughout the whole goddamn movie, or he's an asshole throughout the whole movie or whatever. That's why we get to the dude in the phone booth like, well, will you shake your ass or whatever? And it shit got some Superman shit into it too, but you have to really pay attention to it, because you got Gus fucking around with the phone booth. Carl puts his glasses on like Clark Kent when he riding. So he got his glasses on when he driving, so he in Clark Kent mode. But when he get in the club, he take them off out, he in the Superman mode, or he loosened up. Just like Superman takes the glasses off, takes the suit off when it's time to get busy or whatever. Look at the way your man Dave, when he said, "Oh, she can experience, I can experience too." What did he do? He grabbed his bow, the bow part of his tie. He don't take it off right then and there, but he like kind of like loosen the tie up and shit. So like he finna really get busy. He kisses fingertips and shit. and he go and loosen up with old Jackie. And see, what I liked about this shit was Jackie and see with Sue, the comparison between Jackie and Susan. First of all, her name Susan. Sue is the great cackler, the goose, and the San is the sun. Susan, Sue or whatever. Now Jackie was the epitome of that shit Susan was talking about when they was going into the club. So just people I go, she telling this nigga, oh, you need to loosen up, and she's talking about astrology and oh, you gotta loosen up and we gotta explore new things. And when that nigga, she was talking that shit, but then when he started doing it, she was talking it, but she didn't know how to do it. She didn't know how to make him loosen up. So it's like the spirit saw, yeah, bitch, we got you. Get up in that motherfucker. And Jackie, all that shit Susan was talking, so it's like they are two halves. So it's like, bitch, you think he uptight? Well, I'm gonna show you uptight compared to how we got going. Let me put these pills out this green bag. The heart chakra, the green bag represents the heart chakra. The drugs opening up the heart. Like I was telling y'all with the hippies. When the hippies start doing all them drugs, they start talking about what? Free love and peace and love, because not promoting drug use, but them drugs do open the heart chakra up or whatever. That's why she pulling them out of the green bag. But don't let that be your goddamn motivation to go pop perkies or whatever the fuck y'all on these days. Not saying you shouldn't or not saying you should. I don't want to be the blame of that shit. But she showed him. She showed her. Well, you talking that shit? Oh, I was reading Cosmopolitan, and oh no, bitch, Jackie gonna get it right. That look like I was on some. That nigga said, let me get into this. So, you got the red, you got the gold, or the yellow, the red, orange. You got the red, you got the orange juice. And it's one scene you're gonna see the snake representing the Kundalini energy. If you pay attention, they're gonna make it. It's gonna be right before the scene. It's gonna be right before one scene shipping to another one, but they're gonna show you that snake right before it. They put emphasis on it in a subtle way. You just gotta catch it. It's in the sky though. So so you got the red straw, the orange juice, the yellow car running through the root chakra of the solar plex chakra of guts, and then the boys pull up, Commodores, they pull up in the green limo, heart chakra, the limo. This green limo represents this right here. But when all this sets up, it turns into a misty green, the gold mixed with the bluish water creates like a green effect or whatever. But that's the limousine, the stretch limousine. Then the white girls, your boy pull up. Man, when your boy more of the leather man pull up, well, he represents Osiris. That's why he always the leather. The leather's the bull on the second to Osiris. Leather is bull hide or cow hide or whatever. But his truck got the flames on the front of it. The flames represent like when you see that, even though I ain't seen the movie yet, but the movie God is God. When you see that, I don't know what that movie's about, but her being burnt represents the. Well, we'll get to that. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We'll get to that. Okay, we got that out the way. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Man, bro. When the girls get, the two white girls, when they get to the front, right? They trying to get in with what they having problems with the IDs, right? IDs. the Ids, which would be, this is the Id. The Id means fire. This is the Id, the light inside of here, right? Now, what they say they were from Idaho. The Id, the ID, the lowercase, the Id, or the Id A, because the small A represents would be the light right here, but the big A or the big old solid would be this. But that'd be the Idaho. This is the whole. This is the Id, Idaho. Which I was doing the math on that shit, and take it back to Candyman. I remember that they had some shit there. They were saying, I think it was part 2 though. It was some of the Ides of March. The Ides of March. Saint Ides. This is what a saint, when they Saint Ides. This is what they talking about. The IDES. If you take the S and put it in the front, that would be side. The Ides of March. What's the Ides of March? The Ides of March is the spring equinox. So remember, the spring equinox is when the sun is right here and it's lining straight up, or the sun is on the side. The earth and the sun is side by side, and that light is shining straight through here for the east meets west things. Saint Ides, even when they I should have said that for the goddamn east meets west joint. But the Saint Ides, I do this. Saint Ides, the Saint Ides, or you could put the SIDE, the Cid loaf, which is Celtic or Celtic, the Cid, the Sides, the Ides of March. The Ides of March. That's when the sun is sitting on the side of the earth and shining straight through the Id in March or whatever. I said, man, this shit here, that shit just came to me the other day when I did the breakdown on the Id or the ID or whatever. And then when your girl, when she shake the spot and leave her homegirl to go to the jacuzzi party, when she walk out and all them dudes walk out, her homegirl said, that's definitely polyester. Basically, you see Maddie leaving and she's got like four or five dudes going behind. They call it a jacuzzi party. But that's why she told her, yeah, you wouldn't like this, what we finna go do. But she's finna go do the polyester thing. That's why when it was going to the elevator, Charlotte said, oh, definitely polyester. I think one of the dudes had on polyester. So she was referring to that, but symbolically what they were saying was she's going to do the Ishtar thing or whatever. That's why Maddie's whole shit in the movie is criticizing guys and this, that, and the third. She's all about the sexual aspect of the shit. And then you see certain scenes when the lights is flashing, you're going to see guys do with the rainbow suspenders and shit. That represents the chakras. They're going to be playing that song, Thank My Lucky Stars. That represents the stars, you know. And then Jackie, she represents, that's the name of a moon goddess. In Brazil, they got a goddess named Jackie, and represents the moon. Then you're gonna see that you seen that blue star. I should have pulled that. I might pull it up on my next one. That blue, you're gonna see the blue stars all throughout. The blue stars, neon blue stars, and blue moons or whatever. That's the blue stars. The blue. You got this thing called the holy kachinas or the blue star kachinas. When you go back and watch Mad Max, when they riding and they got their head, you gonna see that stick. With that one of the cars behind the head, a stick with a head on it. In Egypt, that's called that's like the primitive form of Osiris, which is this. It's a head with a stick on it. I mean, the stick with a head on it representing this, or the blue star. It's the kachina. And even in Mad Max, the head ended up getting cut off the stick, but that just represents this going all the way up here and separating from the body or whatever. Blue star kachina. It's also a form of Osaka. It's called the Anzeti. Uh, so I already did the yellow car thing. Okay. Um, then Gus tell Shirley he works for the trash company or whatever. She was like, he was like, I never touched the shit. I never touched the shit, ass, Makula. You know what I'm saying? All that, whatever goes together. Okay. You gonna see? Then there's gonna be another scene where they're gonna show you they're gonna show you Dave coming online. It's gonna be it's gonna be a lady. He gonna be dancing, but it's gonna be a lady like in the background of him. Well, she gonna have a gold head wrap on. Eventually, while they dancing, her head gonna end up like being like right here with his. If you pay attention, the gold head wrap gonna be like right here by his head. That's representing the illumination of the pineal gland. It's gonna line right up with his forehead. I already just said that, Jackie and Susan or whatever. Then the white girls, they doing what white girls do. Like, you gotta be careful with them. Your boy pull up. Marvin Letterman accidentally hit the car or some shit. If they do, they blackmail him. Well, you gonna help us get this club? We're gonna tell. I can tell you, white girl, y'all some tricky motherfuckers. You gotta Chuck Berry about that shit. Shout out to Chuck Berry. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting to know. I said, yeah, that's that white girl activity. I don't want to put it on all of them, but that's why I be telling y'all white girl, yeah, y'all can be troublesome. But no, I already said this lady in the blue, you know, she represents the compass crossing the legs or whatever. Now, then you had that one scene where that chick is like, this place sucks. Before that, the lady, I think it was the chick that Gus thought was Shirley. Or somebody told him, are you standing in a hole? Are you standing the leg in a hole? So when all of these are going up and the melanin is coming down, this is like a void hole. So when she said, are you standing in a hole? And then the other lady just about to leave, she was like, everybody's in here for cheap thrills. This place sucks. This place sucks. When this she said, this place sucks. She gonna be two references. She's gonna say, this place sucks. So this is the shoe sucking this up here, pause, bam. And then after that, she's gonna say, 1, 2, 4. I think I skipped over. Yeah, I went too well. I don't know. Okay, being too far off anyway. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. So sweet ass, sweet underworld. Okay. Yeah, you got the 250s. The gold strip that I did on the peppermint or gold. Then you gonna have that one scene with I think Carl tell his partner, he was talking to the girl, which he could agree, like, I wouldn't mind jumping her bone. And then his homeboy gonna say, well, it's a big dude right there. Look like he would want to jump on your bones. And that's basically talking about this here. The bones of the earth, the mountains and the rocks and the minerals are the bones of the earth. So when they come up, oh shit, when that when this goes up and all this light is rushing to the center to come up, while it's on its way up, and this is sucking up, this is pushing up and pushing the mountains up, the melanin mountains or whatnot, the bones. So jumping on the bones, like some Shiva shit. These would be the legs jumping on the bones of the earth or the mountains or whatever. And then at the beginning, Dave was like, I don't want to go in here with a bunch of lunatics jumping up and down. All these coming up is the jumping up. Then they all jump up and come up here and create the lunatic, the lunar, or the moon, by jumping up and down. They come up, boom, 7 follow. They all come up and they all jump, whoop. And then I'll say this too, because this is gonna tie to something else. I'm gonna put y'all on the next video. When they doing the dance contest, you're gonna see one scene where Marvin Letterman run and he gonna jump over somebody's back. And right after he do that, the DJ booth gonna bust open and it's gonna be a crack through it, right? That's what this is. Marv jumping up, because he also represents the sun coming back down. I'll get into that later though. But when he raises up, him jumping over the shoulders of that dude or whoever it was. When they come up, that represents this. These will be the shoulders. He jumps up and all this light comes up right here. As soon as he do that, the DJ booth cracks open. That represents the lightning striking, bow, opening this back up, zigzagging down here, hitting this, right? Now, hold that thought. So, Dave Fight said, jumping up and down like lunatics, the lunatic moon makers, your boy gonna say this place reminds me of Disneyland with tits, which the tits would be the 2 breasts, however you want to look at it, 1, 2, or 1, 2. And this is the mouse, the Mickey Mouse. Even when you look at Donna, some scenes she look like a fox, but then sometimes you look at it, she kind of like a mouse. The mouse is I'll find it next time, but it's a lot of few goddesses that are sacred to the mouse. Even Ganesha, or Molly Shoes, a lot of different deities that the mouse is sacred to. But the Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. Minnie this is the Mickey, the Mike. The Minnie would be those little particles of light that get left behind after after all the light, when the light floods the surface and then retracts and leaves those little sparks behind. Those would be the minis or whatever. Then they gonna run into the one lady. She was like, everybody in here is looking for cheap thrills. This place sucks. She's talking about the wind sucking this up. Boom, pause. And it comes up, then she says, this place is the pits. It's about the underworld, the pits. This is the pit. The pits right here. These 7 right here. The pits, the armpits. And we'll get into that a little later too, but these are the pits right here. The pits of hell, the fiery pits or whatnot. She says like a zoo in here. I can't stand it. It's like a zoo. The zodiac signs or whatever. And she said I can't stand it. So she's like, I'm getting out of here. So she said this is the pits. So when she said she can't stand it, baby, what she's saying is when all this goes up, it leaves no leg to stand on right here. But these are the pits right here. You're gonna see one scene where one dude gonna be trying to talk to Maddie friend, and she gonna keep moving over or oozing over until it's gonna be a dude sitting like this. She gonna keep oozing over until she end up right here on that guy. She's representing remember the melanin. In the beginning, the melanin is up here. When this goes up, it starts to ooze down. Some goes straight down, and then some goes into the flanks. So her being oozing or scooching into his arms represents that melanin coming down and oozing. If these was his arms right here, she would be that's why they show her going to his armpits, because she's representing the melanin coming down, and she's a downer. She's one of the people, just like the lady said, oh, this place is the pits. Just like Dave was at first, she's the one that wasn't down with this. She wanted to go home with her, so she's a downer. So she's going down and oozing into the flanks or whatever. She represents that aspect. Then you see the dude said, let's go back to my place and see God. And she said, I met him. He has a nice smile. I'll get back to y'all on that. But anyway, we did with Gus McCooler. He's an asshole, underworld. Okay, so yeah, we did that. I'm gonna go over here. So you see Donna, she got on the blue attire, representing the throat chakra. She's a singer. She came to get her music heard or whatever. Gus, get him again, the garbage collector. So I never touched the shit. Worked for it. Okay, we did all that. Here, right? What did she say? Shirley. Okay, Shirley. She teaches 6th grade. What did she say? She teaches 6th grade. I'm gonna have to watch it again and see what the fuck my damn handwriting. She's kind of fucked with it, but she what the fuck? Yeah, I had to come back with that one because my handwriting kind of got crazy right there. All right, so he threw the man out the phone booth. Oh yeah, I was saying about the Superman shit too. When he said he can experience two and he's losing his tie up, he goes and get with Jackie and gets high. Just like Superman flies, he gets on the drugs and gets high. So Dave, this goes to the part where Dave meets Jackie. She's standing on one leg, which would be this right here. She's standing on one leg, pink hair. Remember the white light and the red being the pink. And she said, you can lose it all. She was like, only, he asked, do you always stand like that? She said, only when I feel my energy being drained. Let's see. She said it doesn't standing on one leg doesn't allow the energy complete flow. Um, uh, so I guess you can look at that as this right here, because when the light going up, when the light is going up, it's a complete flow, a complete setup. But if she was standing on this leg, the melanin coming down breaks the light up. So the light that doesn't make it up here, it gets caught on the melanin clusters coming down on the chakras. It's breaking up the flow or whatever. And it's breaking the flow up. And then she says you can lose it in the floor. That's what she was referring to, saying you can lose it. So you got the light that's coming up, but then you got when the light and the melanin meet in the middle, they do an exchange, and some of the light gets lost in the floor and gets broke up or whatever. At the center point. So yeah. And she said the thing about the snake skin. That's why snakes get shed their skin, so you're loosening up. I think I went over that already. Then when you see the pills, pay attention when she put out the bag of pills. You're gonna hear him say rainbow, because these are the pills. So remember what I always tell you, when all this goes up, it's just straight up light. The color comes in. See, when this comes up here and these 7 follow and set that up, they create a prism. So when this part right here disconnects from this, and this goes into this, so when that little now each one of these got a stem in between it. When the stem in between this one and the base separates, this turns into violet. And this is kind of early, but I was going to do a 4th of July joint. But we kind of do a deal with it here too. This is with the fireworks and shit come from. Like I said, if you ever catch Sirius on a good night, you can see all the colors sparkling in it. But when it first set up, this is just straight up white light in the prism. When each one of these go up, or he starts to get high, he sees the rainbows, the Roy G. Biv. So it'll be the violet, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Then it goes up in there. That's why he says rainbow, because he's gonna take the pills and get high and raise up, and turn into Baba Kazoo. Baba Kazoo. Remember, Ba means soul. Ba, 2 souls. Kazoo. The ku, zoo. I guess you say the soul of the animal, because remember zoon means circle of animals. So the ku, that's what it was. Baba Kazoo. The ku is the fans. This would be the ku. So when they say the Baba Kazoo, the ku fans, and the zoo would be the circle of animals or whatever. So the ku, and then the zoo would be the zodiac that's created after all the energy comes out of the flanks and shoots to the outside of the Earth's surface or whatever. The ku zoo. The ku fans in the zoo. That's why you see your boy, Don Flamingo, flip out the fan. That's cool shit. She telling me your rap too tight. When she taking off that suit, see when that light starts going up, this is bad, boy. This is a bad motherfucker. When she taking off the suit, the taking off the suit represents when this light retracts into here, that melanin on the side, on the flanks, falls down here and covers up with the light that retracts. So imagine all this filled up with the light, right? The surface. So when this bit of light retracts from here to there, this part here goes up in the hill, and that melanin falls and buries those little bitty particles of light that are left behind by the light retracting or whatever. So just taking off the suit, if this was the man, this would be him, the light. The shells would be, or the shield would be the suit. So when she take the suit off, it's representing him shedding the snake skin. This is the snake shedding the skin. That's why. And he said, "Who told you that?" She said, "No one." They trying to tell us this an intuitive thing. Some shit people don't have to tell you. Basically, she's basically saying it represents an inner knowing. It ain't come from the outside. It's something that came from the inside. Like she said, no one. Pink, the pink hair represents the root chakra and the light intermingling. The white light watering the red down, turning into pink. And then you got Carl. When that girl walked up on him was like, "Could you go get my sweater for me? Move my green sweater." The heart chakra. He was like, "Sure." When he goes down the stairs, he gets trapped. So it represents him falling. Remember when he go down them stairs, it's all red and black, like hell or whatever. But then he gets to the last stair, and he got on red, so he's representing the root chakra. He's gonna say no exit. So that represents him right here when this is still closed off before the sun comes down and pry everything open. So he's representing the root chakra stuck right here, because what he's trying to do, get some action. So he's in his root chakra. He went to get the sweater for her. In commission to trying to get the know so he can score or indulge in his root chakra. That's why he gets stuck down there. He's stuck in it. Then he got stuck. They got the music playing in the background called you know what I'm saying, Stuck in a Stairway. Sticky. Remember the melanin down here is sticky. The jail, the ungel, the jail, the ungel, the being a little freckles of light all through here on the visky with militant clusters. He's stuck in the hallway. Shaggy green sweater, shaggy, hairy. You'll hear, I think it's Inky. One of them guys in Sumerian, I think it's Sumerian mythology. Inky or some shit like that. I think he was like hairy or some shit. I ain't really that versed in well, I am kind of, but because even the 50 thing, when they talk about Anunnaki, the Anunnaki is just represents the 50 years of rotation, the 50 years of, well, I don't want to we'll get to that. Yeah, that's a whole other thing, but shaggy or hairy, all this down here represents the hairy Krishna or the hair or whatnot. That's why she's saying the shaggy green sweater or whatever. Okay, so that's why when Carl is going down the stairs, he said, "I am ready." Red shirt, ready. That just remind me of my partner, my nigga Rob. I was locked up with. He got a song down here back in the game came out. I think it was like 2003. Them boys. some boy Glenn Irish Click or something like that. GI Boys. Well, I got a song called Already. And it's funny because this nigga was a crib. This nigga I was locked up with. My boy, man, I wish I could bump it in right now. That's another nigga that he was a magical nigga too. But the reason I say that was because he was like, that nigga started, he was like, man, he was a young nigga, but we about the same, man. We was the same. I think I was like 19. He was like 18 or something like that. But he was more of he probably was a little bit more in his inner child than I was at the time because they was from McNeil. But that nigga was like, he told me how he was like, man, he was a Bootsy Collins fan. Now you didn't really see too many niggas my age, Boots. By the time this shit popped up, we was all of course, if you're just a music fan, you know the significance of the history of Parliament Funkadelic. That's just nigga shit, period. You know what I'm saying? But this nigga was like, he was like, bro, he said, man, nigga said, man, I be going to Six Flags with Astroworld. He was like, really? He said, man, I be going to Astroworld. He said, I used to go to Astroworld dressed up like Bootsy Collins and shit. I said, well, I always said then, but when I look, because back then I was still, you know, kind of on the dead side of the unconscious. I wasn't as conscious as I was now. So I didn't knock him though. I was like, yeah, and he was like, he used to have like a wig or some shit, not everything. And he was like, I don't know, this is what he was telling me. But when I look back in retrospect, I say, man, that was some God shit right there. It take a nigga, it take a nigga with some real, even though he probably didn't know he was doing some God shit. That's just like my kinfolk. I was saying about when he produced, he made beats. Oh, he older. He older than me, but my kinfolk, I need to find him. I need to call my cousin and get find out what his YouTube page is. But my kinfolk say that boy be like when he making his beats, he got different characters and shit that he get into or whatever. That's when I was telling y'all about Sick Mike be coming through, and he a Jehovah's Witness or whatever. So that's why I said I need to talk to him. But my partner, he was a Crip too. That was the funny part about it. But that song that just came out like right before I got locked up. So we used to be in that bitch. He was like, man, he said, man, my partner's got this thing we do, bro. Every time we see something red, we be like, oh, look at that car over there already. Look at that stop sign already. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to the blood. There wasn't no, he was a Crip, but it was Crip. I know his people was cripping or whatever. I'm not sure if he was, but I know his people, he come from that element or whatever. So I got to put that on him. But he wasn't saying like, but he was just, he said that's the thing they used to do. Like, man, look at that girl over there in that fish already. So that shit reminded me of when I saw it. But shout out to my boy Robbie, man. That boy, that was a real nigga right there, man. Real down to earth nigga, man. So Shaggy, Harry, green sweater. I'm telling you, the sweat. The moisture in the underworld sweats off the melanin in the creation process of the earth, the universe, or whatever. Then you're gonna see your girl gonna say, Jackie gonna say, you Tarzan, me Jane, Tarzan, tar, black, melanin, tars, and on. With Tarzan, but tars is represent the melanin, and the zon on the A-N on, it's the light, the Tarzan. But yeah, but we'll get into that in a minute. I got some other with that one too, some people with that. But so he trapped in the stairs. And that's when the boy, okay, your boy said, let's go back to my place and see God. She tells him, I met him. He has a great smile. Not sure if that's got some type of deep meaning, but if it does, I'm quite sure I'd probably figure it out. So we'll get back to you on that, or y'all on that one. somebody ordered a vodka on the rocks. Vodka on the rocks, and I'm gonna come back to that one, but I need the glass in the bar. Carl gonna be sipping. Carl gonna have a beer. He gonna reach to grab to drink the last of it. Before he can, Gus gonna grab it and swallow the last of the beer. Beer is sacred to Osiris. Beer represents the light. That's why beer has, you have different forms of beer, but the barley or whatever. So when he swallows that last bit of beer, he's showing you he's representing Gus McCullough. The swallowing of that beer represents the light coming down. So the beer will be the light going down his throat, and him swallowing it would be him absorbing it, the light downhill, whatever. Or not with the goo. Then you're gonna have a sign behind Bobby Speed. It's gonna say on the air. All this is coming up, float on the air. Then it rises up here. That's why I said on the air. Of course, on the air as far as radio shit too. But so I did the Superman thing. We got 1 or 2. Okay, I'll break this down again. What we got left? Okay, we got a little bit more. So let's probably about 1 more video, probably. Yeah, let me see. Maybe 2. Yeah, it might be 2 more. But anyway, so now, your man's gonna go outside, call homeboy. He gonna go out there and get it, and have to get let Marv, the letterman, help him loosen up or whatnot. Plus, before he do that, but after before, Shirley, he told Gus tell Shirley, "Oh, I'm out with an old maid." Remember I was telling about the old maid. The old maid would be when all this goes up, comes up in the hill, it leaves all this as a gulf. So the surface of this turns into like a gulf. The wretched, it looks old or whatever. That's old man winter and all that, or old woman or whatever. So he said, old maid with a good right hook. The hooks or the crooks, Osiris. Shirley's tall, and she see, coincidentally, she got on that turquoise blue. You see this right here, so she's representing the water that comes up out of the moisture that evaporates from up out of the melanin in the process or whatever. Shirley, the old maid. So Shirley, if you take the R turn into an L, that'll be Shilly or Shelly, the shell. So when this all goes up right here, this turns and creates the moon, which is a shell. The Cassiopeia, the shell of the turtle or whatever. Shelly. When you say she's we call her an old maid, but she's not an old maid with a good right hook. So she punched him in the face, which and then hits Carl homeboy in the gut or whatever. So everybody that's pretty much uptight and stiff and petrified is represented by this. So when she punched him in the gut, one of the things that represents is the sun coming back down, and boom, opening it up. So this would be his gut right here. If this was a man, we look at this as his gut. When she punched him, she opening up she preparing him to get loosened up or whatever. And he go out there and with Morgan the leather man, which the leather would be represents the bull, the cowhide. This would be the leather down here, or whatever. So he tell, they say dancing is, when we first foremost, when we get out there, Marv gonna be smoking a joint, talking to God. Now it's interesting because we come from a time where motherfucker get you crazy right now if you doing what he was doing. But in ancient times, there probably wouldn't be nothing for you to see somebody talking to a spirit. Even though you wouldn't be able to see it, they'd probably be talking to a spirit. But that was such a as opposed to now, it's the normal thing. You'd be able to do that in ancient times because we understood that our ancestors were still here and we were able to channel them and all that or whatnot. So that's why it's funny because I forgot. I think that was Imagining the World into Existence. I think it was that book I saw when he was speaking about what I just said about talking to the invisible people or whatever. But when I saw him doing it, that's what it reminded me of. He was like, so when Carl Pilot come around, he was like, what you doing? We like, oh man, I'm talking to my man. Woo, woo. He talking about God, like, but you see how he's talking about him. He's speaking about him like, he ain't on home. He's talking to him like he's a regular, like one of, like I'll tell y'all how to do with the spirits. To deal with them like, yep, these your homeboys or your homegirls and shit. That's what he was doing. He said, I'm talking to my man. I can't win without him. You know what I'm saying? He needs that spiritual aspect. So they tell him dancing is everything. Or he said dancing is I don't know if I think he was telling the girls this, but he was like, I go to work and I dance, they tell me stop. Do I quit? He said no. What he's basically telling you is his job is not who he is. What makes him who he is what he loves to do, which is dancing or whatever. That's why he's saying I am a dancer. So you see, he was working at that clothes shit. He basically said, I'm not a fucking Jack's employer. I'm a dancer. That's what I am. This shit is just to get the bills paid and shit. But I'm a dancer. Everybody say dancing is what I do. Everything else is bullshit. Dancing, the dance of Shiva, well, put it like this. When you hear about the Kali Yuga, which we just came out of, or the Nataraja, which is the cosmic dance, or the cosmic dance that brought everything into existence. That's what he's representing. That's why I say, mind you, this shit is still, but in reality, when all this was happening, this was spinning around and going from side to side. It was dancing, so it's spinning and going from side to side. So these little things, these little points coming out here will be the legs. Like he's dancing on the dance floor, whatever. That's why it's gonna be another scene you gotta peep. When they talking, and she telling them about the polyester. Let me see, where is it? When she telling them about the polyester, they're gonna be looking at the dance floor. So they're looking down at the dance floor, just like I told y'all. This would be when all that light fills up the surface, and the surface turns into this with with the pillar coming up like that. This would be the dance floor of the or what they call the harlot. Har with whores. So when all this retracts and leaves those little bits of light back, that's the har. And then this would be the lot. That's why when they in the Bible they say they tore Jesus' clothes, or they rented his lots, or they tore his clothes apart. This is what they talking about when the light. This would be the robe of Jesus or whatever. When he's going back, that's the renting of the lot. That's the darkness sucking the. So by the time all the light gets right here, only thing left right here is the darkness with the little specks of light. solar-phallic energy within the dark yoni of the womb. That's why it's the heart a lot. The heart. So when they talking about that, who's the heart of the Babylon and a cup of abomination? They ain't talking about shit but the creation process. Most the shit you see, they twisted the game up. Like I always tell y'all. What they tell you, what they call revelations. Revelations is what we're in right now. The revealing of the truth, true spiritual. It was always prophesied that the great spiritual teachers of old would resurrect from those dry bones or whatever. And that's revelation for revealing. The stuff you find in the book of Revelations is revealing the way the earth came into existence. But they make you think it's the end of the world. Oh my God. Oh, when the end of the world comes, the great harlot with her cup of abomination and I'm showing you shit. The seals. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. The lamb is the moon. When this comes up right here, Mary, the white moon being the fleece of the lamb. The Krishna's flute, the blowing of the horn, Gabriel blowing the horn. When this goes up, come back down, boom, pushes this up. That's Gabriel blowing the horn. The air coming up out of here, all that. And I'll stop it right there. I gotta use the restroom and shit. So we'll get back to some more of this. I might do another one tonight, or I might wait till next week because I got another one I want to hit y'all with. But y'all just hold tight, man. And hope y'all enjoyed another night at the fever. Peace.